Hello and welcome. So there's a BBC piece that's circulating right now about GLP-1 weight loss drugs, which are sometimes apparently called skinny jabs. Gotta love British nicknames. So that piece talks about how GLP-1 drugs work and, more importantly, what happens when we stop taking them. And what struck me the most wasn't that people regain weight. That part, to me, is totally predictable. What struck me is that this whole story is incredibly familiar because these drugs don't fix the problem. They simply make starving your body feel easier. And when you understand how your body actually works and how your body responds to being starved, everything else that follows makes perfect sense. So let's start with a really brief overview of how these drugs work. So as the BBC explains, GLP-1 medicines work by copying a natural hormone your body releases after eating. This hormone helps regulate blood sugar and appetite. When you take a GLP-1, it tells your pancreas to release insulin when needed, stops another hormone from raising your blood sugar, and slows down digestion so that you feel fuller longer. So people can more comfortably sustain lower calorie intake. And over time, that energy deficit leads to weight loss. But here's the part that's missing from the conversation. Eating less, no matter how you get there, triggers the same biological responses. Always, always, always. When calories drop chronically, the body adapts. Thyroid function decreases. Basal metabolic rate slows down. Thermogenesis, which is the body's ability to produce heat, slows way down. Our muscle mass withers. Bone density decreases. Not because your body is broken, but because your body is trying to save your life. Because your body has no concept of a self-improvement diet. It only understands famine. So when people say that taking a GLP-1 isn't like dieting because it doesn't feel like the same old starvation, well, actually, it still is. It's just dieting with the hunger turned down temporarily. And it's temporary because as soon as you come off these drugs, your appetite returns with a vengeance. Just listen to how people in the BBC piece describe coming off of these drugs. A doctor who was interviewed says, when you come off these injections, of course you're going to see appetite drive go up. Some patients describe it as feeling like an avalanche, a tsunami of appetite. Another participant shared her experience, saying, after day 3, I had eaten so much food and was so horrified with myself because I didn't even realize I was eating food. It was literally like something opened up in my mind that said, eat everything, go on, you deserve it. Another says, it's like just genuinely being hungry. Even though you know you've had enough to eat, your brain is not telling you that. This is not a mind trick, and this is not weak willpower. This is rebound hunger after chronic calorie restriction. It is so predictable. It's not pathological, it's simple physiology. Another woman in the BBC piece, who is a medical doctor who takes the drugs herself and prescribes them to patients, she says that she would be thrilled to stay on a GLP-1 medication for the rest of her life. She describes trying to stop the medication by saying, in the final week that I was off it, I remember going and having a meal and not feeling full. And I ate another meal and I still didn't feel full. And I thought, oh, it's back. Yes, it's back. Because appetite suppression is not healing, it's suppression. And there is going to be rebound. When we starve our bodies of the nutrients they need, including calories, they are going to fight back. There is going to be rebound appetite. Many people in the video say things like, I just can't regulate my hunger without medication. It makes me feel in control. Going back feels more threatening than staying on it forever. And I want to be super clear about this. There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel comfortable in your body. There is nothing wrong with wanting to lose weight. There's nothing wrong with wanting relief from food noise. There's nothing wrong with feeling free from a gnawing appetite that has relentlessly plagued you for your whole life when you've been trying to restrictively diet since you were 12 years old. There's nothing wrong with wanting your appetite to calm down so you can reach your goals. What is wrong is the story that people are being sold about why the food noise is so loud and why their appetite is so ravenous in the first place. Because your appetite didn't become dysregulated out of nowhere. It became dysregulated through years, often decades of restriction, malnutrition, and a diet based on ultra-processed foods. As many of these participants in the BBC piece say, they have been on restrictive diets since they were children, likely because the ultra-processed, hyper-palatable foods that we feed children actively promote weight gain and hijack the appetite-regulating regions of the brain. They mess with these hunger and satiety hormones that we are now being told to fix by injecting ourselves with drugs. And then, when we're only children, we are told by experts, by doctors, by professionals that we trust that the only way to stop this weight gain or to try to lose weight is to willpower ourselves into eating less of those addictive foods, which is impossible, even for the strongest will-powered adult among us, much less a child. These recommendations are insanity. They're brutality. It is brutal to our bodies. And it is brutal to the minds of the people, to the children that we are teaching to chronically starve. Because when they inevitably can't do it, when we inevitably can't starve ourselves enough, we blame them for failing. Even though we've known for decades that self-starvation using calorie restriction doesn't work long term. Dieting never works. And that is so vital for us to know so that we can liberate ourselves from this endless cycle of starvation and failure and self-loathing and chronically eroding health. Dieting never works, but that doesn't mean you're doomed. Here's what I want people to know because it is the key to liberating ourselves from this pattern. Many of the effects of GLP-1 drugs closely mirror what happens when you eat whole, unprocessed plant foods. Whole plant foods help you feel fuller sooner. They help you feel fuller longer. They reduce cravings and food noise because your body is no longer starving. But there's one massive difference between GLP-1 drugs and whole plant foods. When you're eating a whole plant food diet, your body gets bathed in nutrients, fiber, balanced macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, polyphenols, everything your body needs. And these foods are voluminous. They are big and bulky and filling, so you can eat as much as you want to at every meal. And I mean that. I had binge eating disorder for like 13 years. My stomach is huge, and my nightly dinner is at least 5 pounds. My grandpa once said, with his jaw hanging open as he looked at my plate, "Oh my gosh, Lily, you eat like a truck driver." I don't know what that means, Grandpa, but I'll take it. Not only that, whole plant foods support gut health, which directly supports your appetite regulation. They create a felt sense of satiation and contentment that fills your whole body after every meal. And because your body is actually being nourished, your metabolism doesn't shut down. It wakes up. When your body feels safe and well-fed and well-nourished, she longs to move. She craves movement. She longs to get winded and sweaty and feel her own strength. Not to punish you because you ate too much, and not to trudge towards some aesthetic goal or try to hold off weight gain, but because it's pleasurable, because it feels good, because you're full of energy. When your body is well fed, she is more than willing to burn off extra calories on things like exercise and generating body heat. Humans have brown fat. It's a tissue that burns white fat, which is normal body fat, in order to produce body heat. It's a process called thermogenesis, but our brown fat only turns on when we're consuming enough calories, when the calories that we're eating are consistently plentiful. And that's a big reason why women who are chronically dieting are always cold. A starved body can't take the caloric risk of staying warm, but a well-fed body absolutely can. A well-fed body takes caloric risks. A starved body hoards every calorie it can get. And that should explain why the BBC piece lays it out so clearly. They say, we know that weight regain is common when you come off GLP-1 medications. Somewhere in the region of 60 to 80% of the weight lost will return. 60 to 80%. This is not a solution. This is the exact same outcomes we've seen with every calorie-restricted diet, only now it's delivered through a syringe for thousands of dollars. This sets people up for one of two outcomes. The first, more failure, more shame, more hopelessness, or a lifetime of dependence on extremely expensive drugs that, get this is the best part, eventually stop working. They already know it, and they're not even trying to hide it from us. But if I know anything about the body, and I know enough, I trust that chronically suppressing appetite while undernourishing your body will come at a cost, a very, very big cost. And trust, your body always keeps receipts. So this isn't about willpower. This is not about morality. It's not about discipline. It's about biology. You don't heal a starving body by suppressing hunger and starving it more. You heal your body, you heal your appetite by nourishing yourself with real food, consistently, adequately. Real food that your body can recognize. And when that happens, weight loss becomes an easy byproduct of nourishment. It doesn't have to be a battle. Your body is not your enemy. She's been trying to save your life. She has been advocating for your right to be fully nourished this whole time because she loves you and she loves life and she knows that you deserve to be deeply nourished. You deserve to live a life of total satiation, and I am eager to support you in any way that I can. I have a lot of videos about whole plant food lifestyle and easy permanent weight loss, and I plan to make a lot more. If you got something from this video, please hit the like button below, consider subscribing, share it with whoever you know who needs to hear this, and be sure to explore the resources that are in the description box below. Taking really good care of yourself doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to be a constant battle. There is another way to live, and it is so much better. So as always, until next time, make better choices for your precious self and take really, really good care. I will see you soon. Bye.